Hi, my name is Carol Erger-Fass, and I'm the exhibit curator at the Westport Library in Westport, Connecticut. Welcome to our second episode of Artists in Residences. Today, Miggs Burroughs is going to interview Nina Bentley. For those of you who might not know Nina's work, her assemblages are made of found objects, and they're kind of hard to categorize. As she says, her work is both conceptual in nature and also concerned with social issues. Nina, along with Miggs, is a founding member of the Westport Artists Collective, and she's been an integral part of the thriving art scene in town. Her work has been exhibited locally, nationally, and internationally in museums and galleries. Nina says she creates her artwork to gain some perspective on the world, while also retaining her sense of humor. So who better to talk to today, since we all could benefit from some new perspective and a sense of humor. So I'll turn it over to Miggs at his home and Nina in her studio.
Oh, thanks, Carol. So this is interesting because I've known Nina. I don't know that we've ever pinned it down for at least, 25 or 30 years, I think. And certainly admired her work and watched the impact it's had on wherever she goes and the people that see it. And it's always relevant. There's nothing wrong with decorative art, but Nina's, a friend of mine, an old sculptor once told me that there's two kinds of art. There's two problems in art. One is to make it appealing, and the other is to make it meaningful. And to do both is really a high, to achieve a lot. And I think Nina does both. So I'll just turn over to Nina. She's going to give us a little tour, I think, of some of the art. The other, not to embarrass her, but she's hugely supportive of other artists, and she has a lot of other artists' work in her home. And she's always looking for ways to promote other artists. And so we're going to get a look. I'll just turn it over to Nina, and she can she's going to show us some art other artists' art in her home, and then she's going to go into her studio.
That's it?
That's it. Take it away.
Okay. Am I facing the right way?
Yeah. Whatever. Yep. We're looking at you.
Oh, okay.
But when you're looking at your art, just turn the camera around to aim it at the art.
Got it. Well, thank you for that introduction. That was really lovely. About showing other people's art, I don't think so. I think this is going to be about me.
Oh, good.
Okay. What I thought I'd do is I thought I'd start in the house because I could give you an overview of my work. Because if I start in my studio, you're going to think I'm insane. And I'll lose your interest. So I'm going to show you a few things in my home, starting with one that I did 25 years ago. Here, I'm turning this around. There we go. This is called Blind Justice, and it was done while I was watching the O.J. Simpson trial, and that was 25 years ago. That's about when I met Miggs. The fun part about this was and I did two of them, and one was bought by Johnny Cochran. And the other thing that was interesting is I once went into Goodwill with a friend of mine, and the woman behind the desk said, "Oh, Mrs. Bentley, glad to see you. We've saved you some more jurors." My friend looked at me and said, "What are you, crazy?" Anyway, this is a form of assemblage art. That's 25 years ago. And this piece is 3 months ago. And that I did for a show we were doing 12 by 12. And it's called If Your Grandmother is an Assemblage Artist, This is What Your Inheritance Might Look Like. Anyway, and this is a little bit what my studio looks like. But what else do I have here to show you? Here are two guns. Can you see the guns?
Oh, yeah, the guns with the prickly, with the push pins on the handle, I think.
Yeah, and the glass on the other. And this was done for an unload show. And it was like decommissioning weapons. So I work with ideas, and I work a lot with words, because I used to write advertising copy. And so words are very important to me. In this same room, there's a piece I did. Can you see that one?
Yeah, try to hold the phone steady.
Okay.
Steady.
That was done about a child of mine. And below that is the picture of a typewriter. I did a pretty long series on typewriters. And that's one which is, I think, called Meltdown. I don't always get the titles right on. This is a very new one called The Writing is on the Wall. And that was also in a recent show. And the very newest piece I've done is called Wine and Tears. And that was about an illness that my husband suffered and the pandemic. It's all I'm doing is drinking wine and shedding tears. And this suitcase, can you see the suitcase?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
That was done about my daughter's divorce. It's just married on one side. And then as I turn it around, it says, just leaving. I take all the issues that happen in my life and in my family and translate them into art. Have I lost you?
No, that's right.
No. Oh, and here's one more. This is another.
I feel like I'm on a roller coaster.
What I do with my typewriters is after I make them, I make prints. And so I've sold a fair amount of prints. And this is called Pearls of Wisdom. So I'm leaving the room, and I'm going to just show you a couple of things here, and then I'll take you to my studio. That's called Broken Friendship. I did a lot of work using coffee cups and words written on them. And this was back to sort of divorce. It's called Being Led to the Slaughter. Anyway, where else am I here? This is called Born in the NRA. As you can see, I've used guns in my work because that's old. That was done around Columbine. And it was in the Discovery Museum at one point. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, it's good.
Yes. It was in the Discovery Museum, and somebody called the newspaper and said it was an inappropriate piece for a place where children go. And I think I was interviewed on the news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Now, I decided every time I'm in a show, I'm going to have somebody call the newspaper and complain because it's the best publicity I got in a long time. I'm walking toward another typewriter. Can you see that one?
Yes.
It says, Dear Tooth Fairy, please send me money to pay my dentist. This was after I got a very high dental bill. One of my dentists actually gave me all these teeth. Anyway, it says, please send me money. Tooth Fairy, send me money. What else do I have here? Well, you know, I did a whole bunch of platters. Here's one of them. They hang on the wall. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I go through these series, and then I get them all out of my system. Moving you to another room where we have a platter, and these tables sort of flip. I don't pretend that these mean very much. They're called entitled. And what they have to do with is the fact that we have these things and we don't know what to do with them. So by making art out of them gives it a new purpose.
But they're so engaging because they defy gravity. They're always either, hanging on a wall or on the ceiling sometimes, and the sugar bowl and the creamer and everything is like just...
You like that?
It just kind of plays with your brain. Like, why isn't everything spilling out?
Right. Well, actually, at my studio, if you don't mix it properly, it does. I have this great glue called E6000, and I'm waiting for them to hire me because this glue, if you put this glue on your husband's hand and you put his hand up onto the ceiling, he could be there forever. It's really worth it.
That's a good marriage tip.
E6000. What?
Good marriage tip.
Yeah, just another little being led to the slaughter. He looked good on paper. This is the first piece I did about my daughter's divorce. Can you see it?
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Again,
Okay.
I'll freeze frame these.
Choate, Andover, Dartmouth, Harvard, Speed Club. It's all the things you thought were important. Anyway, I think I did one. I think Ann Sheffer owns one of these. Not sure. Anyway, so there's the typewriter, and then there's the print on the wall. And here is another coffee cup example. And I am going to get ready to go to my studio. So if you have any questions about anything here, okay. So I'm opening my umbrella. Where do you see this umbrella?
Have you ever done umbrellas? Have you ever painted or thought of an umbrella as a vehicle for your art?
No, but having said that, I'll probably now be doing 20 umbrellas, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking of all the, especially with your wordplay, something that might go on an umbrella. Right.
Oh, here's one of my shoes. Can you see that?
Yeah, slow. Yeah, keep it steady.
It's called Stepping Out with My Babies. I did that shoe for Janina Esposito, and she said when she had a baby, she never felt like she looked quite sexy enough after that. So I did that shoe for her. Anyway, so this is my crazy studio. This is the downstairs. Oh, wait, picture of Miggs. Hold on. You see it? There's Miggs.
Yeah, you're auctioning me off somewhere. Yeah.
And that's the clock you made me.
Oh, yeah.
Your heads. Okay, so now, she's somebody lovely. She scares everybody who walks in here. Okay, so now I'm coming upstairs to show you the studio that I have been cleaning like crazy. Does this make sense? Can you see?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is all my stuff.
You want to do a slow, just to start off, maybe do a very slow 360 panorama of everything, and then you can talk about specific stuff.
Stop. Is it working?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. My husband takes a sauna, and that's his mat. Crazy, no?
Not real. Well, yeah, man.
There's a picture, Miggs, you took of us. That's
right.
That's Richard's birdhouse, the golf tee.
The giant golf tee. Yeah, that was great.
When was that?
I don't know. That's 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah. And here's a little model of my dinosaur that I had at Stanford downtown. Let's see, some more platters, some of my skull necklaces that everybody compliments me on and nobody buys. Every time I tell them the price, they walk away. So that's
I know you go to tag sales and flea markets, and you will like come home with like a bucket of 100, 600 miniature babies, pink babies or something.
Right.
So,
right.
When you're starting a piece, are you motivated by how does it work? Do you just look around your studio and start pulling pieces together, or do you have a very defined concept in your head?
That's a great question. I am so envious of the artists who work continuously in an orderly fashion. And I think Facebook and Instagram are going to kill me if one more artist posts another picture of their progress. Because I work so, I don't know, I can't explain it even. Sometimes it's an idea, and sometimes it's finding the materials, and sometimes it's just not happening.
But you don't sketch it out. It's sort of like jazz. I mean, you kind of improvise, right? You just pull things together like, oh, this, right? Or am I wrong?
I think you're probably right. I don't know. Here's an interesting piece. This one is called The Chosen, and it was about the child. It was about abortion, and the child in the frame is the one that was saved, and the rest were eliminated. I have a lot of dolls, a lot of doll heads. It's hard to really describe what it is that, I don't know, what is it that gets me started on something. I'm right now in a pretty low phase. I'm feeling so sad for the world that here's one of the typewriters I did for my granddaughter. That was pretty special because they used that typewriter as the cover of Venue magazine. She wrote a poem that she didn't let anybody read but me. And so I made a typewriter where the keys were covered, hiding the poem. What else can I show you? Huh. That was, can you see that? That was called Time Expired. It's Back to the Wedding series. How am I doing in time?
Good. No, we have about 20, we have like 10 minutes left.
Can you see those dolls up above with the,
yeah.
well, these are all children at risk. I've been interested in that concept of children being at risk. I'm interested in skulls and skeletons. Oh, wait, you see this. This is gonna be something, but I can't figure out what. Hold on. It's very, very heavy. You see them?
What are we looking at?
You're looking at a head.
I wish I could turn off my video so I'm not always on the screen when I'm talking. But
It's a doll head.
oh,
It's really, it's very bizarre. Anyway, I look at all my typewriters. I think I have 20 typewriters.
now didn't you write to Tom Hanks? Tom Hanks is a big typewriter collector, right?
Yes, I wrote to him, but I don't think he ever answered, or if he did, I forget. I'm 80, so I forget things. But anyway, I did write to him. I'll open a drawer. I'll show you what a drawer looks like.
Yeah, I want to see. Yeah, show some of your like collections. I'm not, just things that like a pile of.
Well, what do we have here? We have a beautiful bone, right? Let's see.
Some of the raw material.
So, like, here's something I never figured out what to do with this. Looks like an easy peasy. But that's another thing. If the concept is too simple, I don't really want to do it. But I do have a good picture to show you if I can get to this. This was fun. Can you see that? The knives?
Yes, the IRA, you just...
See it? Well, I found all these knives. And I was in this meeting. We were going to have can you see the picture?
Yeah, hold steady on that.
Okay. So I'm at this meeting and we're having a photography show. And I said, well, why don't we use David Kalman's work? He's not cutting edge. I said, well, why don't we use so-and-so? She's not cutting edge. So finally I said, you want to see cutting edge photography? Anyway, so I did this piece and it was in a silver mine show and it won an award. And everybody was furious at me.
Thanks.
This you remember.
Mm-hmm. Oh, your cow, your famous cow.
My cow,
it was in your front yard for a long time.
I know. Well, if somebody bought it, it was in their front yard for 17 years.
Yeah, this was, to explain to people, this was the Stamford Downtown Association held these art events every year where they'd give artists had to apply for ideas to do with these giant fiberglass models of, one year it was cows, one year it was cars, one year it was dinosaurs, shapes, anyway, and you've done several of them.
Well, you did a bench
I only did a bench and I did a car.
You did a car.
Yeah.
Can you see that car?
Yes, your lemon, the lemon.
That's my lemon. And I don't know if you can see in the window, but it says on the bumper sticker, it says it's the Pitts driving this. Anyway, so I guess I like words. I like humor. And I don't know what I'm going to do now. This is, I did 100. Oh, here's something. I did 100 shoes.
Really?
Yeah, 100 shoes. There's one. That was called The Self-Portrait of an Artist. How am I doing?
I'm wondering, I just have a question. I mean, I think maybe all artists kind of facing this, but, we're in the middle of this horrible crisis, and it's like, it seems to, I don't know. I mean, how long do you think it'll take before anything really worthy art will come out of this, or should it? I mean, is art that, should art even address this, or can it?
I think that's really totally individual. I think many artists are coming up with uplifting scenes and calming scenes and loving scenes that are very good. I'm sort of more of a commentator rather than a healer. And so to me, I have to wait till the pain is past before I can make my acid comments.
Sure, yeah. Well, you need perspective on it. Yeah. I know a lot of the art and stuff that's being put out is really art, Manet and Monet and all these, classic artists that just almost soothing to look at because they were from a different time.
Well, I think we have to hold our hearts open to all expression. So I think there's room in a way for everyone as long as the expression is authentic and as long as it's your own and not a
Right.
not a copy of someone's. That to me, that's very important, that the work is original.
We have a few minutes left. We thought maybe you could just aim the camera back at yourself and either hold something up or just kind of, we could just ask you some.
Well, this is the way I used to look. Ta-da, hold on.
Let's see, show that.
That's a 1957 cheerleader.
Okay.
That's why I help other artists, because in my heart of hearts, I really am a cheerleader.
That's true. Yeah.
It's true. I do. That's where I get my kick. I actually used to think the team won because of me. That's how ridiculous my self-image was. Anyway, what else can I show you? Can you see cloning around? No?
Yes.
And there's the original cloning around. Oh, you know what else I've done that's really been fun? Where do you see this? Fine. Oh, I did. You printed these for me, remember? Are you there?
Oh, yeah, your sister.
My nun series.
Who are you? Our Lady of
Little Self-Awareness.
Well, we have about a minute. We have just about a minute left. So I don't know, Carol, do you want to? Thank you, Nina. This is wonderful. And it's such a rare opportunity for people to come into an artist studio like yours, unless you're a friend. And I've seen it, but it's always a rare treat.
Well, if anybody sees this and sees something in the studio that they want, since I'm trying to get rid of everything, they can have anything they want. I mean, if you see a skull that you're just longing for, just give me a call and you can have it.
Well, that's a dangerous thing to put out there, but let's put it back to Carol to kind of wrap up. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You.
Thanks, Nina. It was really awesome to get a look inside there. And I'll have to look back through this, Miggs, and see maybe there is something we want.
Well, you're probably gonna send out some 911 to take me away. Look at this. How about that?
No. But just in closing, I just want to say, check out the library's website, westportlibrary.org. There's information there about our online exhibits. There's a great trove of online material that you could look at, both art talks and author talks and a whole host of digital content. So I look forward to being able to see you in person at the library really soon. And thanks again.